Greetings, welcome to the channel, salutations, all three of you, my core viewership. I appreciate it. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a pat on the back. I don't really know how to start videos, really, so I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'm just going to dive right into the topic here today. Today I wanted to talk about driving and how people act on the roads and when they're in the confines of a metal box that they think they don't have any repercussions for how they're going to act in. Now, I've been a driver for a decade now, so I feel I have some kind of authority. Not authority, but some kind of experience. Okay, I know what I'm talking about because I've made mistakes in the past. As a younger man in my 20s, I've made mistakes. But now as an older gentleman, I'm 900 years old. I can look back with some experience, and I want to put this out there because I think that that you do make a difference in the world. Even though life is hopeless and you'll never be able to afford a house and blah, 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 and climate change is going to kill all of us, and everything we know already, you do make a difference in the world. So maybe 2 or 3 people, they might watch this, Ashton Kutcher, butterfly effect. I might save a life here. If I save one life here today, I've done my job. Now, I have a couple of notes. I usually don't even do notes when I do videos, but that's how important this topic is to me. I want to hit all my talking points here today. I'm tired of ranting about this in my personal life. So rather than do that, I will just share this video with people if they want to hear my opinions on the matter. So the first issue I'm noticing is phone usage. Now, this is the most obvious one. I don't even want to really get into this. But phones, people are just using them. We all know that. And we also all know that it's very bad for your concentration. Now, the thing that really annoys me about this particular point is that everyone who uses a phone when they drive, they somehow feel that they're better than the average person at dealing with the phone when they drive. Like, nobody will honestly tell you, yeah, I use my phone when I drive, and I'm not proud of it, and I really shouldn't, because it's compromising my ability to pay attention and my concentration on the roads. It's messing me up, and I have a real problem. Everyone else with a problem, an alcoholic will tell you that he's addicted to alcohol. This guy might be sober for like 20, 30 years, and he still considers himself an alcoholic because he knows the danger of labeling himself as anything but what he is. Because the moment that you don't identify yourself properly, that's when you relapse, have problems, and blah, blah, blah. So everyone that uses a phone, I've noticed that they all think that they can handle it. But here's the reason why you cannot handle it, okay? First of all, there have been studies that show, I'm not gonna do this justice, but there is like a contextual shift that happens, okay? Have you ever, forget about the cars for a second, but if you ever read a book and then go to your phone and then go to the book, I mean, the 5 people that still read books nowadays, but this is a real phenomenon. The contextual changes that happen when you shift from thing to thing, what happens is your brain doesn't perfectly go from the second thing and then back to the first thing and back and forth. It doesn't do that clean. It doesn't do it perfect. What happens is, you look at something and you think that it's clean, but your brain is still, it'll take I can't remember what the study said, but it'll take like 20 to 30 minutes or something for you to adjust and get back into the story of what you were reading. So now think about when you're on the road, okay? You check your phone for a text. Or not, I don't know. Maybe it's something less important even. And now you put your focus back to the road. Your like ability to concentrate, like you're going to have to make more of a conscious effort that is more of a like I'm trying to figure out how to put this properly. It's not seamless. Like when you drive without the phone, it's just a natural thing. It looks like I'm jacking off something. So it's like when you're now it looks like I'm jacking off two people. That's even worse. Okay, so steering wheel. That's what it is. So when you switch back and forth, you go back to the steering wheel, okay? You think that, okay, I'm looking at the traffic ahead, blah blah blah. But your brain is still thinking about, oh, my wife is divorcing me. That text it's not going well for me. Or, you know, my daughter, she just started middle school. I hope her bully doesn't do this, that, and the other. You're not supposed to be thinking about 50 different things. You're not supposed to be thinking about the fact that you feel like a failure as a husband and a father. And that your daughter is making more money on OnlyFans than you as a finance manager in a big city. So now you check your texts and you start seeing all these things. Oh my God, my daughter, she just started making content and it's not family friendly. My wife, she's going to divorce me and take half. She's going to take half. She's going to take, you know. I thought I had a prenup, but she's got a really good lawyer, and now she's going to take more than half. They'll still find a way because, you know, she used AI to make it look like I abused her. So these are the things that you're thinking about instead of driving. And the other thing I've noticed, too, is at a red light, I've noticed this. Everyone does this. 100% of the people out there do this. If you think that you're good driving with your phone, you're very not. You're really not, because everyone does this, okay? It's a red light. You check your phone, and then when you don't react to when the red turns green and you don't react, maybe someone honks, or maybe you feel like your peripheral vision or something's off, and you're just like, oh, I've been sitting here too long. I've seen this so many times. What happens is the person will hit the acceleration harder or more like aggressively than they need to compensate for the fact that they just sat there for 9 years longer than necessary. And it's just like, that's not how you got to drive. You don't we shouldn't live in an area of extremes where it's like 0 to 60. When the light turns green, you slowly progress. And, you know, that's how it is. But what happens is people they want to overcompensate for the fact that they were on their phones, and they don't want to look stupid, even though they were just engaging in a stupid activity momentarily. So that's, you know, people have talked about the phones a lot, so I'm going to move on from this one. This is this next one it's a phenomenon that I'm noticing more and more, okay? In fact, I wanted to start the video with this, but I don't know. I feel like phones, I just want to get that out of the way. This second topic is I'm going to call it red light reversal. So what I mean by this is, now, excuse me. I have allergies today, so if you see any drippy, I'm not proud of it. I'm gonna use a tissue, and it's gonna be disgusting. So if you want to know what I'm talking about here, I'm calling it the red light reversal. And what I mean by this is, I don't know how other people learned how to drive, but I've noticed this increasingly in the past 5 years or so. I know everyone blames their behavior on the bad behavior on COVID and lockdowns and stuff, but I think what is happening is one person sees someone else doing something and they think that it's somehow okay or like allowed in a civilized society. But this is what I mean. At a red light, I'm noticing more and more, if a car is stopped too far out, for some reason, these drivers, they'll take it upon themselves to look around and they'll be like, oh, let me just reverse and go back a little bit. Let me make it okay. No, this is not appropriate, and I'm going to tell you why. In life, there are no do-overs, okay? Once you get to your whatever age, let's say you make it to 80, you don't die and then spawn again. Like there's no refunds. There's no redos here, okay? It's the red light. This is a metaphor for life. Traffic is a metaphor for life, okay? You know that, Bob Marley? Life is one big road with lots of signs. It's a metaphor for life. This is life and death, okay? You can't stop at a red light and then think to yourself, I didn't do that properly. I'm just going to fix this now. First of all, you might hit the guy, if you reverse too much behind you. I've had to honk people before because they think that they have more space. And secondly, you're supposed to get it right the first time, okay? This is something that when I was learning how to drive in the 1800s with a horse and a buggy many moons ago, this was like, the driving instructor told me. This is something I was told. He said, when he was preparing me for the test, he was like, look, the person, man or woman, I don't care. The person marking your driving ability, they're going to look to see if you get it right. Like in the real world, when you become a licensed driver of a metal vehicle with the capability of causing 90 million accidents a second, you can't just decide your rules, okay? We live in a society where there are agreed upon rules, and one of the most basic ones is just constantly being overlooked. When it's stop, you stop. I don't know how to put this to you in a way that doesn't make me seem like I'm being condescending to someone that doesn't understand. You can't fix, like, who do you think you are that you're going to reverse your vehicle in the middle of traffic? So now everyone just has to be vigilant. They have to worry that you're going to hit their car. And I don't know, the fact that you're not getting that right the first time is a sign that I don't think you should be driving, because the only reason why you would have measured so incorrectly and driven up too much is if you were trying to beat a yellow light, which is like, I'm going to get to my other point in a second about speeding. And the only other thing I can think about why you would be so far up and need to reverse at a red light is if you're so inexperienced and you're a bad driver that you just don't know what you're doing. So it's those two things. You are trying to beat a yellow light that you didn't, and the second is you're just a bad driver. And both of which are just not good things, okay? I don't want to share the road with somebody that doesn't get the red light thing right the first time. Now, I just alluded to it, so I'm going to get to it right now. Speeding, okay? I think this explains a lot of the behavior on the road, but the red light stopping thing, that I would probably have to guess that 9 times out of 10, a statistic I just made up in the comfort of my own. I would hazard to guess here that these problems could be fixed by speeding. A lot of people, they just think that I'm gonna beat every light. I see a yellow, that means I'm gonna increase it to 100. Listen, in my younger years, I might have agreed with you. Life is short. While we're young, buddy, I'm just gonna speed. I'm just gonna get to everywhere I need to on time, and everyone else can just suck an egg. They can suck a boiled egg. They can suck 2 boiled eggs. But listen, as I have gotten older, and I don't even care. Okay? You can call me an old man, Neil Young. You can call me whatever you want. Old man, look at my life. I'm driving slow now. Old man, look at my life. 24 and I'm driving slow. But listen. There's a phrase that I really like. Live slow, die old. Okay? I used to be the other way around. I'm not going to lie to you. But here's the thing. What I've realized is like the system that we have in place, the driving system, it's perfect. Okay? It's perfect. It was made by intelligent people who they know what they're doing. Now, of course, there are certain areas where it's like 40 or it's like a 30 speed zone, and you're sitting there like, well, whose idea was this? There are no people around. I need to get to where I'm getting to at 50. I understand you, okay? I'm your friend. I'm telling you all this stuff as your friend. But what I'm more referring to traffic. I'm not talking about residential areas where the signs are kind of stupid and they don't make sense and you're like, why is this zone so slow here? This is like wasting. I can feel my life dissipating because of this stupid speed zone. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you're in traffic, right? And there's just somebody speeding, there's something really nerve-wracking about seeing somebody cut someone off and switch lanes and just weave in and out of traffic. Like, I'm more inclined to just let that person go and just go. Just die ahead of me. I really don't care. You can die now. And I am going to choose to die of natural causes to the best of my ability. Okay? Yes, life is very difficult. I didn't get to where I wanted to go in life. My dreams didn't come true. But still, the fact that the grocery stores are still open and I can go there and buy anything, like I can buy a pie, I can buy ice cream and come back home and eat it and savor the moment. I can buy a frozen pizza that tastes better than a freshly made $20 pizza. I can just do that at the grocery store. And I can continue to do this until I'm 80? You're telling me this is this is the life that is available to me? Yeah, I mean, it's very stressful and there are things that are bad. You got to deal with terminal illness, pain. If you might get sick. But let me tell you, life, it's still, even a bad life, it's still, at the end of the day, you're still having a good time. So I want to prolong this as much as I can. So speeding, yes. I want to talk about the thing I've noticed as I age is that there really is no difference between if I make it to some place, 5 minutes earlier. Is that real? Is there any qualitative difference between me getting to a place 5 minutes earlier, or I get there either on time exactly or 2 or 3 minutes past when I thought I would get there? If it was such a big deal to me, I would have left earlier. Instead of I leave at this time, and then now I'm sitting in my car, sweating and just miserable and trying to get to a place that I scientifically cannot get to at 3 p.m. If I wanted to get to a place at 3 p.m. and it mattered to me, like it truly mattered to me, and it was far away, I would probably leave at, an hour and a half. Now I'm really outing myself as an old person. I will leave to get to a place at 3 p.m. at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to leave at 4 a.m. I don't care if I get there early. I'm just going to wear khakis and a plaid shirt that I tuck into my pants. And just think about my pension and how good. Okay. Speeding. We all know. Actually, there's one other thing I want to talk about speeding. I think the one rule, if you watch this video and you only take away one thing, there's one thing that I want you all to take away with, okay? Never panic. If you panic in a car, you're going to make the bad choices in life. And I think panicking comes from speeding, and then you have to make a last-minute decision, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. That was kind of a Trump thing. Oh, I don't know what to do. But you know what I'm saying here, okay? Panicking, nothing good comes from panicking. And the fact that you're panicking is a sign that you're not handling things to the best of your ability. You slow down a bit, and that same decision that was going to happen, that you have to make and panic, you probably have given yourself 5 to 10 seconds of safety. I don't know if that made sense. All right, that's another one. So I talked about phones. I talked about red light reversal. I talked about speeding. So this is the last one, okay? I don't want this video to be too long here. I know everyone, you're all in a rush. You're all young whippersnappers in a rush. But this is the last one I will talk about. And if people want me to go on, I could talk about poor drivers and their incapability to follow instructions all day here. Believe me, I've done this at the dinner table many times, okay? This is one of my favorite pastimes as I get older, is complaining with my loved ones about the the drivers on the road. That's the funny thing about car accidents. I've always said this at the dinner table. This is like my signature line here, is that it's not like these accidents needed to happen, okay? The times that I have gotten in accidents, it was because there was snow on the ground and the car wasn't agreeing with my movements. And it was just life. It wasn't because of, it's the middle of the summer and there's a car accident. If you get into a car accident in the middle of the summer, there's no rain, okay? You have AC in your car. You have sunglasses. There's nothing distracting you. That's a sign to me that you're not handling the privilege of driving too well. I'm not going to lie to you, but you shouldn't be getting in car accidents when the weather is nice. If it's like rainy or like wintry conditions and you get into a car accident because your car slipped or whatever, it's understandable. I'm not going to lie. Because I've had that moment myself where it's like you got to go to work and you're driving and it's like pouring down snow. Ideally, I would choose not to be in a car in that position. But because capitalism all has us by the throat and the nutsack, we all have to get into our cars in times that we would choose not to. So, anyway, forget it. I think I've talked about that one too much. Why did I start talking about that? The signs that you're a bad driver, speeding, panicking. Anyway, let's just move on from that one. Yeah, if you get into a car accident in the summer, bad driver. I mean, if you're the cause of the accident, if you are on the receiving end of that, it's not your fault, whatever. But you get my point here. So the last thing I want to address here is the inability people have these days to use their turning signals, okay? And this is something that bothers me more and more, in, I don't want to say residential, residential areas. I don't mean actually, anywhere. It's not a good thing. I've had times where, this is what I mean specifically when I'm talking about turning signals, okay? Or I mean the situations where it would be helpful. If I'm leaving a street, right, and someone's coming here, and they plan on going here, in the street, and I'm trying to make a right, I could have made the right many years ago, but because this person did not signal that they were going in the street, I'm just waiting like an asshole for them to go by. And I've noticed now more people they'll wait until the last second to signal that, oh yeah, I do intend to go there. Or they're just not doing it at all. Because people live in a world where they're the main character and no one outside of the vehicle exists. Listen, communication is very important in life, like when we're not in our cars. But because we're in our cars, we can't talk. No, we don't have walkie-talkies attached to everyone. So the way that I'm telling you this in simple terms that you might need to. Some of you might be like, yeah, I know, I get it. But I'm telling you this. I'm talking as if I'm talking to an idiot who doesn't know why what they're doing is bad. The reason why we have turning signals is because we communicate. Do you know how communication works? So the reason why you have to signal is so that you can save others time. You can just be a good person to others. Anyway, that's it. This is much longer than I wanted it to be. So just as a quick recap, too long, didn't read. Phones, stop using them in your cars. Speeding, slow down. It doesn't matter if you get there, if you're late, you're late. Do you want to be late and die? That doesn't make sense. Do you want to never arrive? Do you want to just die of car AIDS? Oh yeah, I try to. Here lies old Billy Bob. He tried to get there 5 minutes on time. Instead, he's getting there never o'clock because anyway. Red light reversal. Never try to fix your mistake at a red light. If you made a mistake, and that means that having a license is not for you. You need to practice driving more so that you get it right the first time. There's nothing you can say that will make this appropriate to me. You do not pull over. You don't stop at a red light. Sorry, not pull over. I have to really dumb this down. You don't stop at a red light with your nose too far out and then reverse it because you feel like you did a bad job. If you did a bad job, what that means is never drive again. Practice until you're good. And the turning signal thing. Just be a good person to the other people on the road. Why would you not signal to someone that you're planning on going in? Do you know how much I respect the turning signal? Even if I'm coming home, okay, and there's no cars around me, just as a matter of good practice, I will always signal I'm going left right now to no one in particular. Who knows? Maybe there's a squirrel or a cat that might see that I plan on going left at that moment in time. They might want that information. I don't know if the squirrel can comprehend what I'm doing, but it's good to get into the practice so that when I am in the situation where I have to signal left right now, it's like a muscle memory. I'm just like, oh, left. I know how to do this because I always do it. So yeah, those are just some things to keep in mind. If you're a new driver or an idiot who has had their license for a while and has gotten rusty, these are just things that I'm noticing more and more on the road, and I really wish they would stop, or in certain cases start doing, get into the practice of just be a good driver. I mean, I think I'm one of the best drivers in the entire world, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm just, so take it from me. I'm an expert, and good luck to you.